Turns out space truckers aren't the best for, establishing and finding new species. Super weird.
They just kind of go poking around at stuff,
Doesn't Lambert pretty much say that? Lambert's like, they walk into the room and she's like, cool, let's go. I would have put my head into that room and been like, that, and I would have left. Well, hello, and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Right.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your couch. But there was something truly special about waking up from cryosleep, grabbing a VHS copy of your favorite movie and popping it in to watch. Yes. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two micro changes in air density. Sean Pryor and AJ Venz, how the heck are you?
Sometimes I'm trying to lose the mass.
Yeah.
I said micro.
Well, no, I appreciate that. My own thing is I'm trying to decrease the mass so I don't show up as much.
Ah, gotcha, yeah.
I said micro. Well, it should be nano because that's the way I feel. I feel like I'm too big for this room.
Hymns.
Is nano smaller than micro?
Is nano? Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So see, yeah.
Remember the nano iPods?
Yeah, those were small.
Technology, man. On today's episode, my friends, we discuss one of the all-time classic movies, easily explained by saying that it's Star Wars meets 2001 A Space Odyssey meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
Essentially, Jaws, but in space.
Yeah.
It won 1 Oscar and is the 51st highest-rated movie on IMDb, the first R-rated movie to receive a tie-in series of toys marketed towards children. The movie that made us all afraid of stomach aches. We're, of course, talking about 1979's Alien.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with the Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Well, this was a perk of being in the patreon.com/confused breakfast. We always put out votes. We say, pick our next movie. We did this. We didn't do a summer of 70s this year, so we said, let's give you some 70s movies. And this one got 43% of the vote. Edging out Animal House with 40%. Then it was Slapshot, 9%. Dawn of the Dead, 7%.
What?
Assault on Precinct 13, 1 vote.
Maybe me?
It was probably just Sean because he wanted it to have one.
So listen, if you don't agree with this choice, you got to join patreon.com/confused breakfast. Get up on the movie votes.
And on the cusp of the 70s as well. This is 79. So they're just like, we want to go a little bit more in the future.
Yes, we'll get it.
Well, if you're new to this podcast, we're going to be reviewing Alien scene by scene with a modern eye. But in order to do that properly, we must first discuss it with pure nostalgia. Sean, tell us the first time you saw this movie, what you thought about it, what your nostalgic rating was.
I remember watching this movie on VHS at my parents' apartment, Westgate Apartments in Cedar Rapids. And I remember the angle I was at when I was watching the TV, because I could peer around the corner and see the movie, and then when it got scary, I could peek behind the corner and not watch it. But
still look like you were watching it?
Yeah, and be playing with my toys and be like, I'm super busy with this. Yeah. And I remember watching the movie, and after like you said in the intro, every time I got a stomach ache, truly, I thought an alien was going to pop out of me. I thought that's what stomach aches meant. Even if I was full or what, it was just going to happen.
Here it comes.
So this movie was scary, and I didn't revisit it for a while, so I'm going to have to say this was a 3.
Straight up 3. AJ?
Because of space, and it was like, Star Wars is cool. Yeah.
Star Wars is way funnier.
Yeah.
AJ, tell us you even saw this movie and what you thought about it.
No.
No,
I didn't. No, of course I didn't see this.
You didn't
movie.
do your homework for this segment?
No, I haven't watched it still. I refuse to watch these movies. You just keep getting your way, Sean. with this.
Hey, we could have done
this
Animal House.
Absolute crap. That let's have more spooky movies when it's not Halloween time, and I'm.
That has been happening.
Oh, I just keep getting to do this.
I remember when I said when we said the 5 movies on our text that we were going to put on the Patreon, I said, AJ, are you cool with this?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, dude, I totally am. There's 2
Which
horror
means he
movies
didn't
on
read
there.
it.
Dawn of the Dead and this were on there.
I did. I read it and I was like, oh yeah, Animal House will win.
I kind of thought that too. Yeah, I kind of thought that too. Maybe even Slapshot. We're kind of a hockey.
I was pulling
bunch.
for Slapshot, but I was like, Animal House has at least got my back here. And apparently, no, that's not true. So I'm a big old NA.
Yep.
That's it.
I'm actually an NA on this one. I did see Aliens.
You did.
Back when we talked about this, and I hated it. So I would have fucking hated this too. But this one for some reason, I didn't even. I think Aliens was brought to me first, and I'm like, well, I'm never gonna watch the rest of them. So I just never did. So I'm a big old NA as well, nostalgically. We got executive producer Bud Larsen on the show. He said, I've never seen the original Alien. I've seen the tail end of Spaceballs with the guy in the diner, Alien versus Predator. I have an emote in Fortnite that has the llama bursting through the character's chest, similar to the movie, but alas, I've not seen it. The nostalgic rating is an NA. So, Sean, I'm sorry we cannot actually add it to the list, but if we were going to, that's the bottom.
That is the bottom.
That's the bottom.
Yeah,
that's
3.
that's the lowest rating of anything we've done.
It'll change, and we talked about it, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Now it doesn't matter.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So moving along, we're going to dissect Alien scene by scene with a modern eye. In order to do that, we got to learn from Sean all the important details of the movie. What do you got?
Extremely important.
Important.
Yeah.
Produced by Gordon Carroll, David Giler, and Walter Hill. Story by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. Screenplay by Dan O'Bannon. Cinematography by Derek Van Lint. He also did Dragon Slayer. Not much else. Music by the maestro Jerry Goldsmith and directed by Ridley motherfucking Scott. Cast: Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Yaphet Kotto, Ian Holm, and Balaji Badejo. It all started with Dan O'Bannon, who worked on the film Dark Star with John Carpenter, about an alien on board a ship with some crew members, but that film was more of an overt comedy, and O'Bannon wanted to do the same similar idea with the more straight horror bend to it. O'Bannon was doing work on the Alejandro Jodorowsky epic Dune that would eventually fall apart, but the writer had met an artist who was doing design work for Dune, H.R. Geiger or Giger. I've heard it both ways, and I don't know what
Let's say Geiger.
Okay,
Officially.
Let's say Giger.
Geiger. O'Bannon was haunted and fascinated with Geiger's work, and that inspired him to include one of his drawings as the central protagonist in his script, which was called Memory at the time. While O'Bannon had a strong opening to the script, he couldn't figure out how the alien got on board the ship, but he knew he wanted the alien to come out of a human being. Roommate Ronald Shusett read what O'Bannon had, and after sleeping and thinking on it, the next morning Shusett said to O'Bannon, "I got it." "You got it?" O'Bannon said. "Yeah, I got it. It just came to me last night. I know how the alien comes out of the humans." He's like, "Okay, well, what is it?" Shusett looked deep into O'Bannon's eyes and says, "It fucks." What do you mean it fucks? No, like it really fucks.
Yeah, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's where he invented the slang word that people say
fucks.
nowadays, that when teens and stuff are like really stoked on something, they say, "Oh, that fucks."
No, see, I'm cool with that because like I have a petition right now to have people stop saying it slaps.
Yeah, fucks.
Well, let's end that forever.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
let's just bring back it fucks.
And if
fucks.
whoever says it slaps, you get slapped, and you say it fucks, you idiot.
And then if you say slaps again, you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
I like that.
All
a
right.
lot.
Well, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in to the
Great.
Confused Breakfast.
That's
today.
all we got
Solved
today.
it all.
No, along with co-writer and roommate Ronald Shusett, who says it fucks, O'Bannon took his script to Roger Corman, who was willing to make an offer and produce their film on a very low budget, as Corman was to do. Corman actually told the writers that this film deserves a bigger budget, and Corman did not have the money that this idea deserved, so he told them to go look for more money, and if they couldn't find it, then he'd then come back to Corman and he would make it for him. So I love that guy. He just he did pass away. He passed away just recently, and he ushered in like a lot of directors that we know nowadays. Like Francis Ford Coppola worked for him. Like he's huge pioneer in film.
He kind of pre-funeral homed.
He kind of
did. The pair then got into contact with a new production company that was founded by Gordon Carroll, David Giler, and Walter Hill, and they thought the script was pretty okay, but they did buy it from the writers. Thinking that the script was just okay, the producers put the story through several rewrites, eventually adding the element of a cyborg on board, with our protagonist making the central protagonist, with our protagonist and making the central protagonist a female. The film was offered to classy British director Jack Gold because he just didn't like the script. He said no.
He wasn't classy enough.
Yeah, no. He does like ironclad, sword and sandals kind of
Where's
stuff.
the knights in shining armies? Not classy enough.
Robert Aldrich was then offered the job, and he said yes, but at the time, the Alien wasn't yet inspired by H.R. Geiger's work, so Aldrich's idea was to shave an orangutan and have that be the alien.
Great idea.
Here's
mean, $1,000.
It would be pretty freaky. I've never seen a shaved orangutan, and it might be pretty uncanny. I don't know.
Isn't that just a human?
Turns out it was a lot harder to shave the orangutan than we thought. We couldn't get it done.
Fucking PETA.
So what we did, and then those guys showed up, threw red paint on us, and stole the monkey. Orangutan, sorry.
And then Chainsaw Bob went and got him.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Aldrich did not get the job, and Walter Hill was just going to do it, but he wasn't comfortable with all the special effects needed for the film. O'Bannon wanted to direct it, but when the script was bought by 20th Century Fox, they wanted a confident, established director. Coming off of making a Cannes Film Festival prize-winning film, The Duelist, Ridley Scott accepted the job. Meryl Streep auditioned for the role of Ripley, and almost got it until an actress who had never been in a film before was actually late for her audition, having showed up to the wrong hotel room. Arriving to the audition 30 minutes late, the actress was winded, and when she delivered her audition, she exuded this layer of trying to maintain composure and confidence while having a level of fear behind it. And that got Sigourney Weaver cast as Ripley. It was really cool that she was just like her, fear and anxiety of almost missing this audition. When she showed up, she just had this layer of that and was already the character pretty much when she walked in the door.
Meryl Streep's just like, what a I would have done the same thing if that's what you were looking for.
You want me to run 10 laps around the building?
Because I'm Meryl Streep.
Production began on October 21st, 1978, and shot at Pinewood Studios in the UK, home of films like Batman and The Fifth Element, which we've covered. The film went off with relatively good vibes, while H.R. Geiger would design and even hand paint most of anything to do with the alien ship, and the space jockey. Ron Cobb would design all the interior of the Nostromo with the living quarters and all the working mechanics of the ship. Alien was released on May 25th, 1979, and on a budget of $11 million, the film made $187 million at the box office and would spawn numerous sequels, prequels, and the AVP films, including the most recent sequel, Alien Romulus, which is excellent, and started the careers of Ridley Scott and Sigourney Weaver, and also won Academy Award for Best Production Sound Design, or Best Set Design. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Sean. Up next, we got to go to AJ. He does the research for us, gives us the ratings and reviews from fans and critics alike. What do you got on this one, man?
Well, guys, the food might be terrible and the crew might be expendable, but this certainly isn't. It's the tomato meter. Gross. Oh,
So
93%.
Ooh, yeah.
That's certified fresh.
Per the critics, this movie is exactly the same as Raiders of the Lost Ark and Face Off.
No, wow. No, absolutely.
Perfect movies.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Perfect movies. Yep.
Guys, the brand new popcorn meter is what they're calling it, not the audience scores. They're now referring to it as the popcorn meter.
Nope.
We'll get a soundbite, I guess. 94%. So the audience is in agreement there. This is an 8.5 on IMDb.
8.5 is huge on IMDb.
Yeah.
That is tied in fifth of any movie we've done with Back to the Future and Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
Perfect movies.
Wow, perfect movies.
I just like to think that Terminator is in the same universe.
I mean, duh.
It is,
dude.
right?
Dude, we don't even have to talk about it.
Thank you.
God.
Then I won't.
What?
Good, because I haven't done the work yet. I'll figure it out.
The Tomato Meter critics' consensus: a modern classic, Alien blends science fiction, horror, and bleak poetry into a seamless whole. as in whole pie.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah.
not whole
Nope,
that
we got you. We got
busts
you, man.
out of
Yep.
the chest. Yeah, you got it. Let's see. Michael Wilmington, Chicago Tribune, said 88 out of 100. An old nightmare made shiny new. We had Chris Kaltenbach. I also gave it an 88. He said, Alien, even with some scene tinkering that has left the director's cut 1 minute shorter than its original release, is still one of the creepiest, scariest, most shocking films ever. So it's talking about the director's cut. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Kind of. But 100 out of 100. 1 out of 1, guys. A hole out of a hole. Dallas Observer, Gregory Winecoff. This is the breakout role for Sigourney Weaver, whose iconic presence still propels this ride beyond the scores of substandard imitations that followed. Why see it on the big screen? Because it's bloody brilliant. That's what they said. I've got this one right here. This just says this is a 1 out of 10. Why is Indiana Jones on a spaceship? Said Cody G. Dietrich, July 19th, 2019. I carry more advanced technology around in my pocket every day than they used to make this film, and it shows. In response to the defense of it was made in 79, 2 points. 1, then it didn't and doesn't stand the test of time as so many claim. And 2, Star Trek came out in the 60s and looks more believable than this. It wasn't scary, it wasn't creepy, it wasn't thrilling. It was boring and at times laughable. Thank you.
Right on, dude.
2024 here. This is without the cat, it's a 10. This is 9 out of 10.
Why?
Doesn't like cats.
No, I'm not going to read the whole thing for you
don't.
guys. Just this brilliant movie in every respect. Flawless casting, amazing natural dialogue. Lambert steals the show for me.
Lambert.
Wow.
All right.
Lambert, okay.
Yeah.
I know.
It's her. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what she sounds like.
That's
We'll
hot.
talk about that later.
That's hot. The only thing I hated, was the cat. Why the hell is a cat doing in space? And why does it always end up costing human lives?
We'll talk about that too.
Otherwise, this movie is a 10. I've seen it dozens of times, and we'll see it dozens more. This was my favorite one that I definitely found on this. This says 10 out of 10. Not horror, but a great sci-fi adventure. This is Army Strong, MD, August 26th of 2024.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Oh, somebody definitely wrote this who listens to us.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was like a week ago.
It's true. We'll wait till the next episode. The characters are great. The protagonist especially. Who doesn't love a tough, fit woman who's 6 feet tall and fearless? She doesn't have superhuman or even man strength.
What?
Okay.
But she's a big, tough woman with an iron mind. The alien creatures are uniquely terrifying and were the stuff of nightmares when I was a little kid. I also had realistic toys of them, so I could terrorize my plastic army men with a killer alien and set up my soldiers to defeat the superior attacker. This movie isn't a battle of good versus evil. It's a battle of humanity versus an alien race evolved to kill other races, with the added twist of a robot with a different objective. Sci-fi excellence surpassed only by the sequel.
All right.
There you go.
Whoa.
We do have Little Lebowski, Urban Achievers, in the exclusive Discord channel. Get there by Patreon, guys. Sign up for Patreon. Join in. Nick Mad is here. We've got Nick Mad said, in space, no one can hear you scream unless you're literally almost any member of this cast, in which we definitely hear them scream, and often. Clever taglines aside, you've got to marvel at the sci-fi horror aesthetic that Ridley Scott builds in the 70s classic. It's ambient sound, dimly lit corridors, and there's smoke everywhere. It's basically Blade Runner in space, but with aliens. Awesome. Plus, it helps that the cat lives, and I think we can all admit Sigourney Weaver looks stunning as the unlikely heroine, Ripley. 7.5 nostalgic. Cuddly cat rating, gave it a 6.
Look at that, man.
Yeah,
Right.
you
Nick
got
mad
it.
is Nick happy about that.
That's good.
I like
It's really
that a
good,
lot.
man.
So sorry.
No, that's great.
No,
Okay,
please. Jarrett Layoff, he just exclaimed at one point, Ash is a goddamn robot. Spoilers, bro. But Jarrett Layoff also said, just like Terminator and Ghostbusters series, I saw Aliens before Alien. Did not expect this as the start of one of my favorite action franchises when I first saw it. Absolutely terrifying thriller, induced reoccurring nightmares. Honestly, turned me off of horror films. So, nostalgic rating 2.4 out of 10. Way too spooky. I agree with you.
Oh.
We'll get to it. So,
Well, yeah, sign up there at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast if you want your reviews read on air.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
go.
Come join us.
Well, some of you may have figured out that we're not done with this episode yet.
Oh.
We're only halfway there. Mother's interrupted the course of our podcast journey. She's programmed to do that should certain conditions arise. They have.
Mother. Sorry.
It seems that she has intercepted a transmission of unknown origin. She got us up to check it out. So what do you say we go scene by scene on Alien and see what we can come up with? Here
Okay.
we go. So scene 1, the commercial towing spaceship Nostromo is on a return trip to Earth. Upon receiving a transmission of unknown origin, the ship's computer awakens the crew of 7 who are in stasis. The crew detaches and lands on the planetoid, resulting in some damage to the ship. Captain Dallas, Executive Officer Kane, and Navigator Lambert set out to investigate the signal's source, while Warrant Officer Ripley, Science Officer Ash, and engineers Brett and Parker stay behind to monitor their progress and make repairs. How about that 20th century logo and the music?
A little,
Wow.
Yeah.
Watered down much?
Yes, but I was like,
It's great.
it's weird though because the rest of the movie doesn't fit it. You know, like the
Yeah.
rest of the movie's feels great, still feels timeless, looks good, sounds good, but then they're like so it's like it's coming from the 1950s. It seems so old.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they update these movies, like they put them through like the prestigious like Blu-ray, like 4K scan of the original film print,
yes.
but they just forgot about 20th Century Fox intro. You know, like okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Great.
It's pretty fucking awesome though, and then it leads into what I would argue is the best that we've done. This is almost 200 episodes. The best title sequence that we've done yet. I'm not necessarily talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about just the graphics of the title.
Better than Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Dude, when those hieroglyphic type things start showing up, I'm like, what? What is it? And it takes you a second, and eventually you kind of go, I think that spells alien. But then like you're still waiting for it to spell it out. The first time you see this, it's apparently a guy named Saul Bass.
Saul Bass.
Saul Bass, the famous graphic artist, designed the opening hieroglyphic titles, but was not credited.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it said he wasn't credited, but I think this immediately I'm like, oh shit.
He's done so many iconic opening title sequences for like Hitchcock, and like he did Psycho, the original Psycho. He's done like a Catch Me If You Can for Steven Spielberg. He's like the guy.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It feels very Kubrick, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the way it very much felt for me, especially with the music, like the tones and whatnot over there. Like, and I'm just watching, and I agree with you, and I'm like, oh, man, that's awesome. And then it's like, okay, I know it spells alien. I know it's going to spell alien. You can
if it
finish
doesn't?
it kind of it's like, what's it going to do? It's like, spell alien. It's going to spell alien.
It's creative though. Not many other movies would do something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just like alien, you know, but this
yeah.
is cool that it takes its time.
It's all vibe. It's all like just setting that like eerie vibe up of kind of like the slow nature of space anyway, and like the slow nature of how this is kind of unfold eventually. You know, it's all vibes for me, and I love it. Even Jerry Goldsmith's score over it is just fantastic
Yeah.
as well. When we get into the actual ship, and the set design is fucking incredible.
Dude, and Sean, it's so good that it just creeps me the fuck out from minute one. I am creeped out beyond creeped out. And this is like maybe you'll agree with me here, but like the idea of being in space frightens me to death.
Yeah.
It's like being in a submarine. You have to stay here, and if anything goes wrong with here, you're fucked.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, everything goes wrong.
If a fire happens in this building right now, we just go outside.
Right.
If a fire happens
on Earth,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then like the idea of then being in cryosleep for a long period of time, and then the fact that there's no fucking dialogue for like 6 minutes, and then is something on the ship? Is something like how things move and like the way it makes you feel like something's walking through the ship. Mm-hmm. The helmet reflection when the transmission comes through. This is like a masterclass on just making you feel creeped out.
I love it so much. I love the practical nature of everything too. Like it seems so far in the future, but also like like these guys, they'd say this is like truckers in space pretty much, and they are hauling like some rocks. Like
700 billion tons of rock or something.
They're
like
hauling
that.
some.
Is that what it is?
Good old space rocks to somewhere for something, and
they're on a train to
deliver some
rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get all this coal that we just picked up from the old coal station.
We're on a deadline. We got to get going.
We got to get there.
I love it, but like I'm saying is they're blue collar workers, you know, and blue collar workers always seem to like to get hand me down stuff.
Yeah, okay,
and so like maybe in this like year that we're in, this futuristic year, there are bigger tech up there, but these guys kind of get like this is like 50 years ago.
I was going to say
of like 2067 or some shit, wherever we're at.
It's like having a teenager right now in 2024 and giving them like a 1999 Corolla.
Yes,
like here's your car,
flip-flown Katana.
It's got 300,000 miles on it. Like door handles falling off, but the engine runs pretty good.
Yeah. She's doing just fine. She got another 100,000 in her.
Where's the button to press the start?
Yeah.
How does it start? You got this key. It's a whole thing.
Hey, Dad, I got in the car and like I tried to put it into drive, but there was like 6 different positions and it has numbers on it. Like, what does that mean?
Well, D means drive.
Oh, well, it doesn't say D because it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. So you got one of those.
There's a third pedal too. What does that do?
Don't press that one.
Don't never push that one. Yeah, I kept pulling on this thing, and every time I did, the car wouldn't go anywhere. That's a handbrake.
I love it though. I like even like the glow of all of the like random buttons of everything. It just seems so cool. I mean, I'm just gonna go prop right away, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, here's a prop.
I just want a panel of this set.
Just a panel.
A specific panel, actually, that is like, it's Tom Skerritt's character.
Dallas.
Thank you. He's just walking through a corridor, and I think to open a door or something. He just he flips this thing.
That's to get into Mother.
Yeah. Okay. To get in. Nice. He flips this thing, puts this thing in, takes this thing out or whatever. I want that panel. It's just so weird and practical and cool. I just love it so much.
I just want that to open any random door in my house. Yeah. Whatever's the most use, the hallway closet. That's how I get into it. It's just like.
Just to get a broom out.
Yeah.
I get home late, so it'd be to open up my bedroom door when my wife is sleeping.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to take, there is a picture of Jonesy the cat that's on Sigourney Ripley's desk.
Okay.
There's just this little picture of a young kitten Jonesy. That's my prop. I want to hang it on the wall.
Nice.
Big fan of Jonesy.
I know.
We get it. Okay.
We'll talk about it.
We
got some things to say.
I don't really know what I want from this movie, guys. No, you know what I want? I want one of their sleep pods. Because I really do think I would get a great night's sleep if I had one of these sleep pods.
Do you, when they put you in this
That's
weird
why
stasis?
This episode's brought to you by Serta Mattresses.
By a Serta sleep pod.
Go to Serta.com and press Confused Breakfast button.
Press it.
Press the button that says Confused Breakfast.
I'm sorry, Mike.
No, do they, when you go into stasis, they clearly eat meals and drink before they get into stasis and they're in there for 6 months. Do they shit and piss? Or does like stasis like just shut your body completely down?
I think if you go into one of these after you have like a full steak dinner, that steak dinner sits with you the entire stasis.
What if before they get in, they're in their little weird underwear towels and they just they put a flapper down and then like the part of the bed there's just a hole and just everything just goes in there.
It's like a bedpan that like porter potty bottom,
and then that goes into some weird machine that like turns it into food for later on. Like, because it's the future.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, you can eat your own shit and piss in the future. Everybody knows that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's,
God, I can't wait for the future, guys.
Yeah, it's
wait till I get
futuristic
high school.
composting.
What about
Cutting out the middleman.
AJ? Maybe you feel this way. This is the first time we watched this movie.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of making you think Kane's the main character.
Yeah, right. When he's the only one waking up at this point, and he kind of transitions into all of them at the table.
He's the first one we meet. He's kind of the guy that sort of like seems like he's leading the team. He's going on the first adventure. He really feels like. Did you think he was going to have a bigger part in this, or did you kind of know what happens to him?
I kind of knew.
Yeah.
I kind of knew because I've watched Spaceballs a million times.
Of course.
I've already watched this guy die. But so I don't know. I thought he had a bigger role. I thought he was going to be more present than what he was. I'll put it that way. Because even though he is going out and he's kind of doing these first things, and I know he is the one like this happens to, it still seemed like they were really setting it up and they were focusing on him a lot.
Yeah.
Even the dialogue around the table. And there's no good food around this table, apparently. It looks like they're just eating a lot of different types of cereals.
This is basically what it is.
You know, that's what the future is.
That's the future.
But I did think that Kane would have a bigger role. Young John Hurt looks totally different too than like what he does now.
Yeah,
or when he did like more recently. It's just very different.
He was great in this movie too.
Yeah, I love him a lot. I kind of feel that way, like it's like right off the bat. But then you get everyone at the table, and it's a lot of shots of the crew. There's like Ridley Scott's really not singling anybody out and letting you know who's going to be a main character. Is like this crew is the main character.
It's an ensemble.
Yeah, and it's really shot well like that, and I think that's hard to do as a director, is to just like kind of lock off a camera on a group of people and stage them how you're supposed to. Like Dallas is the captain, and so he's probably going to be standing taller than everybody else, you know, in a lot of shots. Or when Ripley is then taking charge in later scenes or something, she's probably going to be standing a little taller than everybody else in these stage shots. Everything is telling you something, and every shot of like maybe the character is on the left side of the screen and there's like nothing over here. Eventually this thing over here is going to be interacted with that character. It's always telling you something. There's like not a wasted portion of film on this movie whatsoever.
Yeah, well, here's my first big problem with this stupid scary movie, Sean, is your dialogue's too good. Okay? Yeah. It's all too good. It's too good to watch. It's too good to listen to.
It's like The Thing, kind of. You're like, God damn it.
They're all too good at being actors, okay? If we're going to make this a scary movie, we need to dial it back. We need to
need more teen sex.
We need more teen sex.
Yes.
We need some people from like the faculty and from Final Destination.
They couldn't get Josh Hartnett to be in this movie?
Where's Devon Sawa?
God damn it.
Okay? Not that Devon Sawa is a bad actor or anything. I'm just saying, okay? No, seriously though, like the interactions between the crew, it's some of the most genuine like acting like I think we've gotten in a long time. Like it's just genuine. Like it's like they were prepping to shoot like The Office, the TV show.
Right.
It's like, we just need you. Hey, we need a lot of B-roll and background and like all this stuff. We're just gonna film you guys interacting with each other and having a meal together. Just go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. And it's like they were just all talking around the table. And like you can't do that anymore. It doesn't happen anymore.
They all seem like they've done this 1,000 times too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe not even with each other, but they've definitely been on this trip a long time to get to know each other. But like even their lingo as they're like talking about like what's the what's Mother saying this time? Or like, what's the rotary girder doing
Yeah.
over here? I'll turn that rotary girder off. You know, like their like ship lingo, like that jargon is so well realized, and that I don't see an ounce of like them not believing what they're talking about as actors. You know, I totally agree with you. It's phenomenal.
It's also, I think it adds a lot to, like, I've talked about this before. When you have an ensemble cast, oftentimes you get this where the camera's not giving you any focus. It's not telling you where to listen. You know, it's not the camera's not directing you as a viewer. And it's like, oh, in order to get to know these people, we need some more close-up shots to be able to understand and like listen to what they're saying and how they're saying it. We don't actually get that much in this, but we get what it is it's like a very living camera. They aren't static. They aren't stationary cameras almost ever, it feels like, especially when they're walking. They're really like moving with you, and it's a whole nother part of this kind of crew. It's like a film crew is filming this crew. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it.
And Ridley shot most of it. Like he has his DP, and even like run and gun sort of lighting situations.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want like an overarching kind of like god light coming down like most movies at this time probably would do. He wanted like natural lighting to come in and shine on the characters' faces, so they would place lights wherever they needed as he was like staging and directing them with like as he was shooting. Like he was behind the camera most of the time is what I'm saying, as when he shot it. But even like he wanted most things to like if all the lights are off in here and it was just that light on, that's what would be motivating his shot for a character. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all practical and all makes you feel lived in. It makes the ship feel extremely lived in.
It feels real. It feels like I'm actually on a ship. And he had like, I read he had ceilings where normally you wouldn't have ceilings on a set like this. He had ceilings, and I heard he kept kind of like lowering the ceilings and pushing the walls in like as the shoot went on to just make them feel like, God, like you feel kind of claustrophobic in the ship. It's not like Star Wars where they have those giant corridors and they're well lit and everybody's like, hello, how are you? Like these guys are just like, geez, I'm in this and I got to get through here. And it's just sick. But like I find it really hard and also scary to believe that they just don't know, and they don't know really where they are. They don't know what planet this is. But they're like, let's go. And they just go to land on a planet that they know nothing about. And apparently just like a rock kind of fucks their ship up. That's how bad. Like, that's how bad and old and gross their ship is that they like, oh, we touched this rock and now we're busted. Then they start trying to figure out what's the air like? What does anything live here? Like that just seems very not practical of like a move.
Dude, I swear that Futurama must have taken their ship landing jokes from this thing because so often you see in like Futurama they'll have this like, it's like, all right, touch it down nice and easy, all right, we're like, and they're like this far from the ground and cut the boosters, just blast, just boom, just done. Their ship's completely ruined.
It comes out of nowhere like, in this one.
You're like this far off the ground, and then you set onto this rock. It's like just tears up the foot of this ship, like so bad.
But to me, it makes sense because they do this so much. I think it's because wherever they came from,
do you think they do?
I think so. I mean, wherever they came from, they got rocks from a planet.
Oh, that's true.
You know
but
they
saying? Knew what that planet was.
Perhaps.
Well.
Perhaps, but like as a distress signal, I guess as well. They're just like, we got to get there as soon as possible. Yeah. We'll worry about the atmosphere once we land.
I love how. Go ahead.
I just want to say this because like it's like, well, Mike, welcome to the future. And like in 20 years, we've already gotten so comfortable with our technology that we're just like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like my phone, I got to charge up my phone, and that's kind of the first thing I look at. These guys are so ingrained with technology that they just wake up and they're like, well, must be home. And it's just like, nope, turns out you're not. You're still 50 light years away.
Because you're letting a computer named Mother guide your life.
It's like, I've never heard of such a like such a great analogy for being dependent on technology as just calling it Mother.
It's fucking awesome. Now, I hate it, but I love it all at the same time. Like, oh, Mother.
And the only place in this ship that does look like Star Wars or like super tech is that mothership room, that mother room. And this was the one part where I did feel like I was just like, all these lights are pointless, man.
What do they do?
Like it's like, is he looking at this and he's just like, he sits back, he's like, Well, hi, Mother. Oh, these lights are really not having a good time over here. Are you upset, Mother? Like, I'm like, what are all these lights for? It's the only thing about this ship that took me out of it.
But this is 1979.
I know.
The graphics and the computer stuff will forever like take me out of a movie like this for a tiny bit, because it's just so like it's not the future.
Yeah.
Because this is so bad.
But
at the time, I'm sure it was fucking incredible.
I also love the computers, though, of when Mother wakes up and it says Nostromo. Is that what it is? And then it says the computer name. And even when they're landing, I really like how it has like those squares. And it's like changing the squares to go and land with the shit. Come on.
No.
But
I like that.
You gotta take
Reminds me
this
of
in
Star Fox.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do like that as well. And you got to take into account, like, even 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is taking a lot from that movie. They had, like, more flat screens in that movie.
Yeah.
They had more, like, I can trace my finger on my laptop. You just couldn't do that back then or whatever, They were thinking that was more of the future. And I think they were in Alien. They were thinking, like, yeah, that is more of the future, but these guys are space truckers, and they don't get that sort of equipment.
Gotcha.
Hey, maybe this spaceship in whatever universe this is, maybe this spaceship was built in 1979.
Maybe.
Even though it's 2021, they're like, yeah, whatever.
This is a classic.
It's
all
a
right?
classic. It's good.
This thing's never failed me. Now it's not going to fail me ever again. Okay?
Taking it back just real fast, the fact that they are in fact space truckers. It's like. And you've got Parker and Brett, and they're talking about talking about pay and getting their cut, getting more. And for me, it's like, well, you'll get your cut whenever we say, and like you'll get what's due to you. And I like that it's look, I'm not doing any more work until we get this figured out. It's like then you've got these other guys who are so gung ho, like Dallas or whatnot. They're so gung-ho about it. It's like, no, we'll die for our corporation.
And they're like, no, we won't.
No, we won't.
But every job I've ever worked in my entire life, there's always been a Brett and a Parker that are like, fuck this, man. Like, look, we don't get paid enough for this. Like, well, then why the fuck did you take the job?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I love their sentiment, but I'm also like, fuck you and do your job.
Yeah, just do it.
Just
like,
do it.
It is.
You can't accept the position and then be like halfway through, be like, I want more.
Do you think
you just can't?
Like, are those the equivalent now of like the quiet quitting or whatever? It's like quiet quitting from work and jobs and stuff.
I don't know what that is. Is that what the teens are doing nowadays?
What the teens do now.
Oh, cool.
It's like, well, we don't feel like we're getting what's due to us or something, so we're gonna do the bare minimum, so we technically can't get fired.
Fucking Democrats.
But we can't. But
I've been wanting to say that all day. I've just felt the need to say that phrase.
Damn it, Michael.
Go ahead.
But like that's what it is. Like you can't fire us. We'll do just enough to not get fired and make sure we're getting our pay. And that's what Brett and Dallas are.
That is what they're doing.
Brett and Parker are.
And
blue collar workers.
Me.
Just like
right.
hey.
I don't think so though. I don't think that's blue collar mentality.
I think that imagine this. Like, you're headed home. Like, you got your rocks.
You went to sleep assuming that when you woke up,
hey,
you're gonna be home,
we're
baby.
just about home, right? Like, let's fucking crack some beers. We're celebrating. I want to party when I get home, And then you're like, oh, well, it's company policy. If there's an SOS, we got to go check it out. And it's like, motherfucker. I'm sorry, fatherfucker. Like, I mean, I would be the same way. It would be like, well, we weren't supposed to fucking go here, and now shit's breaking, and now I have to work fucking overtime?
Yeah.
Not my problem, dude. Not my problem at all.
No.
Either pay me more, or I'm staying.
I'm finishing my
I'm
coffee.
staying.
I'm
I
staying.
ain't fixing shit.
I know this food sucks, so I'm staying here. I'm not doing anything else. That's it. By the way, is you said it just now, Sean, so it made me think. So in the future, does that mean is Siri going to be mother?
Like 100%.
I mean, it's better.
Listening to everything that we're.
Yep.
I love
Alexa, Siri, like they're all going to form one.
HAL 9000.
There's going to be one
2001.
thing. Well, and also I need to say also fucking Republicans because we're not a political show and
That's
they both
true.
suck.
Yeah,
so
they're all stupid.
it was just funny to say Democrats.
Two
at
wings
that
of the
point.
same bird.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Scene two.
Cut the head off.
Don't come at me, bro. All right, Dallas, Kane, and Lambert discover that the signal is coming from a derelict alien spacecraft. Inside it, they find the remains of a large alien creature. Meanwhile, the Nostromo's computer partially deciphers the signal transmission as some type of warning. Kane discovers a vast chamber containing numerous eggs, one of which releases a creature that attaches itself to his face. Dallas and Lambert carry the unconscious Kane back to the Nostromo, where Ash allows them inside against Ripley's orders.
I like that when they are landing, it does just look like before they put on their like floodlights, it's just like string lights on the ship, like that I have on my deck right now.
It looks like somebody in a trailer park decided, I'm going to put up some of them lights.
That's essentially what this ship is. It's like, this rig sits next to the trailer.
Is
that
this
they
where I
live
say
in.
fucking Republicans?
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. We got it. We got it. We're
take
even
the
now.
other one out.
Yeah, take that out. No, it literally is like they could have done better with that.
I mean,
With those string lights. They're not even straight.
They're all like miniatures and stuff, and I praise those just because it's practical and it's not fucking stupid CGI. But also when they are like on the alien planet, the footage from their helmets looks like we see in Aliens, is really cool, but really fucking creepy as well, because it's like found footage for like alien planet horror movie pretty much going on.
I think that would have been great as some sort of an addition to the series, the Aliens series, of just having some sort of a found footage, almost Blair Witch Project style, like Cloverfield, whatever you want to call it.
Turns out another ship came upon this at one point
something
too.
along those
I'm
lines.
certain that script exists.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
It would be so awesome, and to be able to have like some of it is from like the original Alien, right? Like it would be so amazing. But you're right, like this kind of found footage and watching them, I love their suits, and them walking around on this planet and outdoors and stuff is terrifying.
AJ, it's this movie just continues to creep me out with these scenarios that I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in space, and then I don't want to. Have you ever been scuba diving before?
Yes.
I have not
You
been
have
scuba diving.
So it's like it's the greatest thing in the world, being like one with the ocean. But there's a moment where like if your goggles kind of fog up, you can't do anything other than like trying to unfog them while you're underwater, and there's this weird move you do. Like this is the same fear that creeps in, that like your goggles are fogging up, it's dark, you can't fully see all because you've kind of got these blinders on, you can't move like you normally move. There's just an instant terrifying nature that comes into something like that, and I feel it with these guys walking around in that suit for the first time.
You're like even underwater, you're in an alien space, pretty much. You know,
One of the scariest places.
But you're also in this suit that makes you feel claustrophobic in this open space. You know, there's something really fucking weird about that.
And if they wanted to go running as fast as they could, they can't.
Yeah,
because they've got this weird suit on. I can't.
They'd be in that dream state of trying to like run as fast as they can and pull themselves to do it, and then also try to throw a punch, and they can't throw a punch. It's
happens to me all the time.
There's no part of this that I want.
Well,
There's no part of it.
Did you read up on like the actual suits? Like it plays well into their acting. Like you believe that they're truthfully like, I don't want to be here. Apparently they were huge, bulky items lined with nylon. There were no outlets for breath or condensation, as the actors and actresses were working under hot studio lights and conditions in excess of 100 degrees.
Oh my God.
They spent most of their time passing out while they were in these suits. A nurse had to be on hand at all times to keep supplying them with oxygen. It was only after Ridley Scott and cinematographer Dan Valent's children were used in the suits that when they passed out, they're like, okay, we got to make modifications.
Because
they still put their kids in there.
When they get into the ship,
Dude.
they see that huge, the space jockey, as we come to find out in the sequels. That's when they use their kids to make that look bigger.
Did you pick up on that?
I kind of did, just because their movements were more.
Yes, dude, great call. Like
Right.
when you know that they're kids, they just have a weird movement to
They're
them.
just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody's yelling, "No, you're right. No,
Shut up,
you're
Dad.
other right.
I can walk how I want.
I know how to do it.
Freaking Dad.
Fucking Dad, look, space jockey.
Oh wow, stupid stuff.
Oh, look at this.
It's brilliant though, because this is the creepiest scene of the movie as far as like set design. And the fact that was already huge, what did they say? It was like 26 feet tall or something like that. Then they go and put little kids in the spacesuits. It just makes this feel like you're in wonder the first time you see this, being like, what the fuck is this?
Well, and to find out too that the studio was like, we can't pay for this set. This is really stupid. Like, what does this have to do with anything of alien being on a ship in a movie? Like, what is this shit? And he's like, and really Scott fought for it. He's like, we need this because it's got to look bigger than what they are. It's got to, like, not even size, but like there's a whole operation here. Like, so that we just don't know about.
You can't as a human fathom what this is and what it does. And it scares you.
Yes.
But you have to find out what is going on.
Even the look of the ship, just like the like kind of crescent looking thing is so ominous. And then to see inside of it and see that thing, to see like, oh, it's some sort of like captain or like something is piloting. Like, is that the pilot? Like, I don't. And then it's just like, we're not going to tell you. You're gonna have to figure it out.
We're not going to tell you. Oh, and then we're gonna go underneath it, and it's gonna get even weirder. There's gonna be these egg things and this blue, like laser beams and shit. It'll be cool. Like, let's forget about that. Let's move on to the next thing.
There's not a single part of me that would be that would see that first. Not even let alone the eggs. And we're like, okay, think we got it, right?
Sean,
we got footage of it. Let's go back and tell HQ, like, hey, there is definitely some fucked up shit here. Why don't we get like the military and not just like rock workers to find this shit?
Turns out space truckers aren't the best for establishing and finding new species. Super weird.
They just kind of go poking around that stuff,
Doesn't Lambert pretty much say that? Lambert's like, they walk into the room and she's like, cool, let's go. I would have put my head into that room and like, fuck that. And I would have left.
What's Kane's job title?
Head dipshit.
He's like second in command.
Tip of the dick that gets you fucked. Yeah. Like what?
They call it soaking. He doesn't actually fuck you. He just goes. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's
kids
awesome.
Are doing that nowadays.
That's cool, dude. Cool.
I tried that once.
I've been doing like exercises to make me last longer. Dude.
Wow, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Kegels, huh? Yeah. There's
it's got weird.
What are we doing here, guys? Anyways, aliens. Those chest fuckers. Those things.
It fucks.
They do. And no, but I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what is Kane's job that he just feels it's his duty to go and be like, hey, we found an organic like life form out here, and this is what we have found, and now, hey, and then he falls, and it's like that slow motion fall, that he kind of has to like fall down. And
so there's a layer of mist on.
Okay. What is? It's like, what qualifies any of these guys to even be here? And it must just be some sort of, like, as we kind of figure out that it's this company's goal to find this thing. So it must be something for them. I take it.
They were expendable from the start,
right?
Is what they. As we find out later.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit?
From the moment that this was like found or that this woke up their ship.
The idea, the deep-seated idea is that the company knew about this distress signal and that there was something they wanted. That we don't necessarily know why. Maybe it was that they knew there was this new species or something, that they essentially set up this mission to send them to get the ore, to knowing that they would then be the ones to go intercept the beacon, right?
And
without them knowing about it.
All the while, Mother has had this plan within Ash's head.
Yes.
To make it so they go and discover. And that's, if you watch this movie back knowing that Ash is a cyborg.
Completely.
The shots of Ian Holm are just so eerie. Because, and like, even his reactions are just like, if Veronica Cartwright's character is like, we gotta go. He's like, no, go take a look. Or no, it's when
Ripley wants to go out. He's like, well, no.
Yeah,
well, why would you go?
It's a warning signal. It's not a distress signal. It's like a warning. It's like, well, they're gonna find out it's a warning as soon as you get there.
By the time you get there, they would have already figured it out.
Don't even go down there. But like the way he performs it is just like he's like, no, just don't.
He knows that a face hugger is gonna happen.
I need someone to get face fucked and then come on board. All right.
That's the weirdest part. That is the weirdest part for me is And when it all starts to go awry, and I'll share this. God, this is the only part about like I hate being late to these types of movies because I'm sure there's already been something that's probably happened in this long series of movies now that I'll get to here. But like watching it and that Ian Holm plays it brilliantly. Ripley is also playing this incredibly smart, and by saying like we all know what happened to Kane out there, and he kind of did it to himself almost. But then at the same time, it's like, no, I'm not letting you on. Like, this is a protocol.
Yeah.
Like, no. We have to decontaminate. There is protocol to be followed. I can't just let you back on. I can't let that thing on the ship. We could all be compromised. And then all of a sudden, then Ian Holm was just like, he heard it like direct orders or something, kind of plays it off in that fashion almost and just lets him in. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
If we went to an alien planet and Sean got face hugged, like I would leave you.
Yeah, I would.
And I hope you would do that to me.
Absolutely.
Because then we can still get back on the ship and we can leave. But sorry.
I mean, if you didn't cut your hair, maybe I would take you back on board. But like now that you have, it's just like, man.
No, yeah, fuck that guy.
Change the face of the podcast.
Wow.
Did you catch?
You're gonna shave your beard next? What the fuck?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
No.
But like sometimes rule followers can save lives.
Yes.
Like, you know, those people who are just like at your work being like, well, technically,
Yeah.
you're not licensed to operate the forklift, okay? So why don't you get off? And, you know, OSHA, if OSHA was here, they would be real mad.
9 times out of 10, it's going to be fine if I operate this forklift.
Exactly. But like, unfortunately, there's like a story in 9/11 of this guy who was like one of the bosses of like one of the levels, and he would do like training sessions of exactly like when the plane's at the tower, of exactly that kind of like fire drill kind of
What
thing. Like
if?
he was like very militant about it and like did it every single day, and he was like one of the only ones that like got all of
And
his
his
people
group
out.
got out.
Yeah, but he didn't actually. But it's that
like
kind of
that.
thing. It was like sometimes fucking pains in the ass are
That's why there's
can
protocol.
pay off. Yeah.
Like, do not let that fucking thing back on the ship.
Yeah.
Also, if you're Dallas and Lambert, be like, yeah, we saw it. This is fucked.
Yeah.
He's not going to live. He's not going to survive. We're leaving him.
Yeah.
Let us back on.
When they see this happen and they're dragging him back. I mean, technically, he's like, wouldn't you also think he's basically been without like air or oxygen?
Of course. Like, you don't know that he's breathing at this point.
Yeah. Like, at this point, you don't know that.
None of these people have families. They're gone for like 7 years at a time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, they're not bringing his body back so his grandma can be like, "Ooh, Kane, we loved you."
Oh, we really?
No, Kane has no family. Kane can go fucking rot on this weird planet.
We hardly knew
We
you.
hardly knew you.
No, but seriously, we
We
didn't know him.
Actually,
too
I didn't know that's what you look like. It's been
That's
a long
really
time.
weird. You could have been wearing that face fucker this whole time.
Did you hear the theory about the eggs? It's kind of unexplained. We learn later on in many of the alien stuff how the eggs are made, and like the queen lays them, and we've been brought about a bunch of lore of that. But this movie doesn't really explain why the eggs are there because there's no queen.
Right.
And, like, how did they get there? There's a really cool theory that I saw from Screen Rant that's essentially saying it ties in a deleted scene. Have you seen it? There's a deleted scene with Dallas and Brett.
It's in the director's cut. It's like the only change for the director's cut.
Okay, so it's where they're basically their bodies are being turned into eggs.
Yeah.
And so the theory is that they're trapped in these cocoons, and that like that's how the eggs are formed. This one xenomorph showed up on that ship, and then that's where the rest of the crew is. The rest of the crew was killed and turned into those eggs, which I think is a cool way to think about how they got there.
Yeah.
They were all killed, put into cocoons, and then that turned into eggs.
Like we have to review this movie, and that's
Correct.
That's
Yes.
awesome. But like even like Prometheus, there's like the
Yep.
the ancient ones, or like the actual engineers, or these are like the alien species is like a weapon pretty much,
Yes.
as we get to find out throughout the multiple movies of this. But yeah, this alone is just so ominous that anything will work for me.
Fine.
Yeah.
Actually, don't even need to know. Just it's terrifying. Well, let's do scene 3. So they unsuccessfully attempt to remove the creature from Kane's face, discovering that its blood is an extremely corrosive acid. Eventually, the creature detaches on its own and is found dead. With the ship repaired, the crew resume their trip back to Earth. Kane awakens seemingly unharmed, but during a meal, he begins to choke and convulse until an alien creature bursts from his chest, killing him and escaping into the ship. This to me is brilliant writing, where we needed a reason why the crew members would not just like shoot to try to kill the alien, to essentially make it like an indestructible monster that it can't be killed, right? Because the acid blood makes you like not able to kill it.
Right.
It's indestructible because it's going to either kill you or you're going to kill it and then die.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's terrifyingly brilliant writing on how they did this.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I love how ominous it is too. While later, Ash describing it, being like, yeah, whenever, I mean, it forms its like kind of almost silicone over its cells or some shit, or like it gets rid of its cells and replaces it with this like armor bullet. It's like it's one tough son of a bitch, you know. I love how he just explains it, just being like, this, you can't kill it, and like obviously he says it blatantly later on, but yeah. Acid blood, he's like, what a defense mechanism.
It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying.
I feel like a better and easier way to explain it would have been like, yeah, remember like how you try to take the ball out of your dog's mouth, but then it just tightens its grip harder?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it does to this guy's face. It's just going to hug his face harder and hump the shit out of it.
Yeah, dude.
It's like that, because like the moment they try to touch it, that thing like wraps around his neck tighter.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
It's so eerie.
and that part right there was what creeped me out even more.
There's an element of like this psychosexual nature to like H.R.
Yeah.
Geiger's work that it's like, even if you just look at his work non-related to Alien, it's just like, what the there's so many penises everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're so like,
God, even those fingers look like dicks.
they do. Yeah. I mean, there's something to it where it's just there's something to be said about it being so phallic in nature and impregnating men. You know, it's such a weird thing, but like it's something to be said about it. I don't know. You could find out for yourself.
But at this point, I mean, you've already fucked up. You've already brought this thing on the ship. But now you understand that it has acid blood and that whatever it's doing to your friend Kane here, it's not good. Like, there's no coming back from this. You put it in the airlock, you throw it into space.
Yes.
And you maybe just throw Ash out there too. Because, like, fuck you, Ash.
Well, speaking of Ash, at this point, when I love when Ripley comes up to him and it's just them two, it's just kind of a locked off shot of Ash, and he's explaining kind of what I just said of like, yeah, it replaces itself with whatever, and then it's only on him while Ripley's asking him questions and berating him, but then as soon as she like starts to assert her dominance of like, I'm third in line for captaincy, like when they're off the ship, why didn't you obey me? It then cuts to her. I just love the direction of that being like on Ash, and again Ian Holmes' performance of just like it almost seems like he's doing stuff that he doesn't even need to do, just to kind of like, you know, because like almost like a nervousness.
Yeah,
I know he's a cyborg, but like, you know, that kind of thing you get into of like, if you're like in an argument or something like that, you're just like, well, you know, just I'm doing dishes when I don't need to do dishes, or in arguing with my wife or something, that kind of thing. It's what it seems like. But then like it cuts to Sigourney Weaver in that moment where she's like, hey, you disobeyed a direct order. Like, what the fuck's going on? And that's when the seed of kind of doubt of Ash kind of starts creeping into Sigourney, and I really like that a lot.
This is when she starts to like take over. She plays it so well. I actually had a note being like, yeah, Sigourney Weaver, like she's not doing it for me like she did in Aliens, but I think it was on purpose. I think she's just meant to just, she's just another character.
Yeah.
And you see that start to ramp up now where she's like, I got it. I'm taking over from here. And it's just brilliant. Because at first I was like, come on, Sigourney, like you're better than that. I've seen you better than this. And then she is. And you're like, oh, okay, I got it. She's so good.
Well, and it even kind of comes along with like Brett and Parker down there when they're doing like the repairs beforehand too, and then she goes down. It's almost like she's like a third officer, but she's like also kind of like in that technician.
She's tight with the crew.
Yeah, and does like the technical stuff too of like the repairs and whatnot. So she kind of comes from that background and is like, well, if you guys need anything, hey, go fuck yourself, Brett. Like, you know, it's like that's what it is. That's where she has some respect, but at the same time, she's third officer. And like, so I know it's Dallas. Maybe is that what Kane was? Was he like second?
Probably.
Maybe that's what Kane was.
He was.
Yeah.
Okay. And so from there, you're kind of like, eventually she's gonna have to take over. And they really did. I think going back to what you said originally, Mike, it's like they kind of play this up like this is going to be a focus on other people. Thinking about this, watching this for the first time, not knowing what all has happened in the Alien series and world.
This is the first thing that people are seeing. Yeah.
First thing people are seeing. They're thinking that guy's going to be the lead. Well, maybe it's more like that guy. Well, maybe it's kind of more like these guys. Maybe they're kind of. Oh, it's her.
Yeah.
And that
had to be a beautiful moment in 1979 to be like, fuck.
Yeah. I think that's pretty interesting.
And you finally get this face hugger off. You have the scare and it's dad. And
the whatever negligee Kane is wearing. I mean, it looks like a corset. Like a backwards corset that he's wearing. Like the face fucker's got kinks.
Yeah.
You know?
He's in this.
Put this
cool.
on.
Yeah,
Put this on.
Put this on while I fuck your mouth.
Ask them to put this on you. Like,
yeah.
Well, I can't imagine.
Take off all your other clothes, but not this.
Yeah, I'll take it off.
Yeah.
Face fucked him into a coma. Yeah, dude.
I can't imagine, though, that what happened to him, we know what happens to him. And I can't imagine that he just wakes up and he's like, feel pretty good, actually.
You know? Kind of hungry.
I think I'm good, man. You don't feel that way after what happened to him.
He's going to wake up and be like, It's water? Yeah, I got cotton mouth like I wouldn't believe. It's just like, what?
I taste pineapple.
My jaw hurts.
Yeah, you don't recover from that just to be like, hey, you got any Cheez-Its?
Mike, after this thing falls off and it's just sitting there and he's like, and you got Ash who's just like, ooh.
Never seen a vagina before.
Wow.
Did that skew your appreciation for like oysters at all too?
I rethought my ability to want to have oysters maybe anytime in the future.
Yeah.
'Cause I heard they used oysters to.
Is that right?
Yeah, I heard it was like a mixture of like oysters and other weird shit that they actually put in there so that it would feel alive and yeah.
It made me. I saw it and I was like, yeah.
There's a big old pile of boogers and pussy lips.
Dude, here's an idea for anybody out there that has a seafood restaurant. You make a face hugger as like a bowl, and you put all the oysters inside of it, and the legs are up and the thing, and you serve it.
Do it as a crab.
Yes, you serve it as a crab face hugger.
And then add a lobster tail to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you've got oysters in the center.
And you can eat it all.
And then there you go.
And if you don't,
we fuck you.
Alien Romulus marketing team. Fuck that one up.
And we'll call it the Sea Hugger. We'll make $1 million off this idea.
You go to Marcus Theaters, and instead of getting a popcorn bucket, you get a seafood thing.
It just smells.
Oh my god!
You know that they've made fleshlights of this thing. You do. You know that they did.
Oh yeah.
This is upsetting. I hate that I actually said the words.
Yeah.
So.
But you did.
I did.
But you did.
I apologize.
Let's talk about the scene. I mean, the chest burst.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it was like seeing this for the very first time, being the first one in the theaters, having known nothing about this. Essentially, you're seeing what the cast members are seeing, because a lot of this was, they knew this was going to happen, but they didn't know to what extent it was going to happen. Brilliant directing choice to the fact that they didn't know exactly, because what you're seeing on their faces is, for the most part, pretty true.
Yeah.
Horrifying. This scene's so, and of course, like AJ, I saw this in Spaceballs first.
Yeah.
And didn't know what they were referencing.
Yeah.
Didn't know that until later on in life that, that must have been from Alien 1, I guess,
Somebody tells you, like, whatever,
Yeah, but this is just fucked. This is fucked up, man.
It's him, like, it's so, like, normal and jovial and, like, yeah, we're headed back home. We're gonna have some beers, dude. Yeah, can't wait to have different food than this.
Happy to have Kane back. It's like, they will not let it go about this food, dude.
Yeah.
They will just not let it go. And, like, imagine if you're Kane and they're the ones talking about how bad the food is. Like, yeah, you don't know how bad it is. Like, I should have put that down your throat.
Like, Kane, are you sure you're hungry? You got a mouthful for like 24 hours, dude. Like, damn.
You got some like white stuff on the side.
Yeah, it's like,
what is that?
He's like, oh, hey, we're having hot dogs tonight. It's just like,
damn it, dude. You guys,
hot
guys are assholes.
Pretzel rods, like the really long pretzel rods.
I don't want hot dogs. What about corn dogs? It's like, what
we got some come and go tornadoes. All right.
Hey guys, something's wrong with the freezer. Should we? Does anybody want some popsicles? We gotta get rid of these things.
Come on. will,
We gotta get rid of him.
my throat hurts.
Sweet
Actually,
corn.
I will take some popsicles.
All right, I'll take
Oh,
them.
my God.
It's when they lay him down on the table, and he's just struggling, obviously. But then the first like burst of blood, everybody kind of goes silent and backs up a bit. It's like, and then he starts struggling again. They're like, "What the
Then
fuck?"
it changes big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like they just think he's choking or something. But
Yeah.
until that happens,
And
it's
then they're
just-
like, "Oh no!" And you see that moment where everybody rushes to him, but Ash,
Yeah.
at least he eventually does, but he waits about
he's like,
10
"This
seconds.
is real."
He's like,
Parker,
holy shit, it's coming out now.
Parker, like Yaphet Kotto, like he is definitely one of my favorite performances in this. His like, especially when he's sitting there next to Kate, and he's like, him having that little moment is like, he's like, all right, he's like, come on, the food's not that bad. Like that's such a great line, and then to watch it go from maybe the funniest little joke inside the scene to just go to absolute sheer devastation is such a great shock and awe moment. And yeah, and I didn't actually know that like nobody else really knew that this is how it was going to
Did
play.
you hear about Yaphet? Did you hear about what they reportedly said he went home in complete shock after this and locked himself in a room and refused to talk to his wife for like several hours.
Jesus.
Oh
He
my
just
God.
sat in his room and was like, what is this? Like, I
Jeez.
didn't expect to see that.
It's crazy.
It's terrible. And I will challenge you because I remember thinking this in Spaceballs because they used the same audio in Spaceballs, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty
Well, it's
sure
the same
they.
actor.
Well, yeah, but I
Yeah.
think they took the audio because in Spaceballs, I think you hear the "Oh God."
Okay.
Just don't watch it and just turn your back and listen to the scene. It sounds like a sex scene because he's going, It's just like, "Oh God, oh." It's like it's kind of weird.
it's all.
It's kind of
kinda
weird.
weird,
It kind of took me
or-
out a little bit.
Kind of hot.
Yeah, see,
She's decent.
depends on what you're into, right?
I'm not into the but I was into the
Okay. Yeah. No, and that thing popping out of there, it also looks phallic with jaws. I mean, let's just say, like that
Yeah.
thing that comes out of his chest. That thing.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my
God
honey.
damn it.
Absolutely brilliant on
I
Spaceballs
know.
part
I know.
to take that and turn it into that.
And you know what? Unfortunately, I couldn't watch this and not immediately think of
Yes.
it and just be like,
kind of wish we were watching Spaceballs.
It's like scary movie
know
with
what it
Scream.
was.
It's like,
Yeah.
damn it, dude.
son of a bitch, you ruined it.
Yeah,
didn't ya?
kind of a little bit like even Veronica Cartwright's. It's famous, like
Yeah.
that reaction of the blood spraying on her is genuine. She didn't know it was gonna like get on her that much, and it cut before she fucking fell over in the scene. And I like there's some behind the scenes stuff of the guy who actually designed the chestburster alien to come up is H.R. Geiger's guidance, but this guy who designed it, you can just see him like under the table with the alien in one hand, like just popping out. He's got like a sandwich over here. He's like in between takes. He's like got his coffee with the alien all bloody in this hand. He's just like sipping the. It's awesome.
The magic of movies, babe.
yeah.
Well, let's go on to scene 4. So the crew attempts to locate and capture the creature. Brett follows the crew's cat into a large room where the now fully grown alien kills him. Dallas enters the shafts intending to force the alien into an airlock where it can be expelled into space, but it ambushes him. Accessing the ship's computer, Ripley discovers that Ash has been ordered to return the alien. Ash attacks her, but Parker intervenes and decapitates him, revealing Ash to be an android. Parker and Lambert are killed by the alien while gathering the necessary supplies to escape.
Couple more things. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead,
On
man.
the chest burster, just imagine seeing the thing come up like out of you, and just being like, and then it just like, and then just fucking scurries off, and everyone's
Yeah.
just like, the fuck.
The
Yeah.
fuck just
Like-
happened?
Like, this guy's dead.
By the
that
way-
thing's somewhere now.
And I was just waiting for something to just be like, it's like it all happens and then you just hear ding. Somebody's microwave dinner's done. You're just it's like, what? Oh my god!
Unfortunately, it's just ramen.
That's why Spaceballs. Check, please.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the super the special.
I'll have what he's having.
Dude, but like that thing scurries off, and the moment that Ash is just like, no, wait, it's like that's the moment I break his nose.
Yeah,
Is
That's
the
it.
moment that I'm like, this is your fault.
Yeah, this is all your fault. You just let him get away. no matter what, like you let this little thing like just go off into the ship, and now we're just supposed to go to bed?
Well, yeah, and then now this is just nightmare fuel again.
dude.
Now you're 10 months. They were about to enter 10 months of cryo sleep. That's how far away they are, and now they're here, unable to go to sleep.
Yeah.
With that thing running around, and now they have to try to find it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
This is just terrifying.
Even more crazy that Yaphet Kotto has a net. Like, I know that, like, you know, I've seen the movie. I guess you guys hadn't, but you know that the alien grows, obviously. But them not knowing that, and
why would you?
Exactly. But like, it's funny knowing that it grows, and he's just got this little net. He's like,
We'll
I'm gonna go get it.
Yep.
I'll just
I'll
put
get him.
that on it, and we're good to go.
yeah, just throwing that thing on the big face.
It slides.
It catches on its second mouth. And
Yeah.
This I do have a question for you. Do they ever explain what the fuck room on a spaceship's gonna have water and chains?
Nope.
And why are you gonna drink it?
Nope.
Why are you?
Whatever it is.
It tastes metallic-y.
It's just like fuel. You just instantly gets
That's what I
hammered
thought
off
it
one
was,
drip.
man. Like
Dude.
what room is this? And I mean,
It's
it
nothing.
adds to the. This is a terrifying room. This is a room you see in a haunted house that you're going
Chains
to
for no
just
reason.
clanking around
Yeah.
and water dripping and
Ridley was asked this too. We're on first name basis. Ridley
Nice.
Scott and I.
Yeah.
Ridley was asked this too, and when I was
Ridley's
talking to him
Believe It or
about
Not.
this, he just said he's like, "What's the point of just Rain being on a spaceship?" He's like, "It's fucking cool,
And I agree.
vibes, bro."
And I can stop right there. I just wanted to bring
Yep.
it up.
Yeah.
But like I'm also like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's no reason to it whatsoever, but it is a haunted house movie at this point.
And the suspense of it, like this is bad. You know that this is. In fact, is that in the director's cut where you can kind of see the xenomorph hanging behind? What's his face?
Brett.
Yeah, did you know that? Like he's like very dark shaped, kind of hanging from a chain in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was in the original theatrical. Or the
I don't think
director-
they include it in the director's cut. Like I said, I think the only thing is like her
Right.
finding Dallas and the others becoming
Right.
chest burster people.
But like, you know this is bad, and you know he's gonna die. But the suspense of it is like, it just keeps going.
it just like
Yeah.
he finds the cat's name
Jonesy.
Jonesy. He finds Jonesy, and the shot of his face, Harry Dean Stanton of all people, it's amazing. But the shot of his face, and then in the
Yep.
background, out of focus, this thing
Don't like
comes
it.
down. It's just so good looking. And what do you guys think of our first reveal of seeing the alien?
This is maybe the best one, I think.
Yeah.
At times, I'll get into it in my final rating. At times, I wish we had more of the Aliens version, because I think they had more time and more money to put it together. There are a few that take me out, but this one's I think I'm fully on board with this one.
This is good. Like this is better than what I think we get later with Dallas.
Correct.
So
yes. Where it's just like,
yeah. Hey, come here.
like got T-Rex arms. It's
Yeah.
like, gotcha.
So it's better than that, but at the same time, no, I do think I think it's good. I think this is a good reveal, if you will. It wasn't too revealing, I guess. You know what I mean? Like they still left some to the imagination.
The Jaws effect, maybe, like
Yeah.
the shark
Yeah.
effect. Of
Yeah,
just don't
yeah.
show it too much.
Yeah,
Right.
you won't want like a locked off shot of just the actor in that suit.
They
just
said it just
standing
looked
there.
like a guy in a suit, basically.
Yeah, and it pretty much is, But like seeing its tail come down first
Yeah.
and then it,
I believe it.
it's so amazing, and the design of it's fucking outstanding. But like even what's his name's performance in the suit, Balaji Badejo, he was just an actor that they got off the street. He's like I think working in France or something like that as like a waiter, and they're like, you're tall.
He's like 6'10" or something like
He's-
that.
I think he
Yeah.
was 6'7", and in the suit he was like 7'1"
Jesus.
or something like
Jeez.
that.
I don't like that.
And so like the sets were so small, he had to like bend down the whole time. So he like had a certain chair made for him so he could like rest his fucking back while in this.
Jesus.
Like I'd imagine it's so hot being in there as well. But outstanding stuff from
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough credit for making this thing really come to life.
This is why I love cats so much, is because if there was a dog on the ship they were chasing, that dog would have like attacked the alien because like you just killed my master, but the cat's just like, fuck yeah, how'd you do that? How'd you kill that guy? Like, I love watching humans die, and that was awesome because that's the look that cat gives.
That cat's got some like it is. It's got that heavy breathing face going on, just like wow.
The cat.
Are you gonna eat his face?
Wow.
You gonna eat his face?
Save the face for me.
I like to eat faces once the cat dies.
The cat to me is just like whatever.
Whatever.
That is what I love about the personalities
piece
of
of
cats
shit
because they're like humans, dude. They're just it just depends on the day and the emotion. Where a dog, you kick a dog in the face, they'll be like, hey, I'm sorry about getting in the way of your foot. Do you still love me? You kick a cat in the face, they're like, I'll remember that. When you least expect it, I will fucking eat your face.
It's like I'm gonna
Not today, not tomorrow,
You know that
but
new
someday.
plant you got? I'm kicking it right off the fucking shelf.
Remember how I poop in this thing? Now I poop on your face when you sleep.
I'm gonna drop my mouse right in front of the stairs when you're carrying heavy boxes. So there it is.
Cats so much.
That's a sadistic outlook you have, Michael. Because cats are obviously terrible, and if you ask me, this cat is in on it.
Fuck yeah.
Honestly,
Right?
might as well
let's
be.
be real. It's
Well,
like,
dude, they
that
brought a cat into space.
That cat led all of them, like at least 2 or 3 of them, to their demise. Because that alien was like, hey, dude, if you like bring him over into this like corridor with the water and shit,
I'll let you fuck a face hug.
then I'll let you. You can eat their face.
Oh, you can eat the face hugger's face?
You can eat the nose off. After they get done face hugging it, you can eat it.
Deal.
Believe me,
Or
bro.
like paw.
Believe me, bro. No more friskies, all right? You
Dude.
get face, all right?
Dude.
This is gonna be good cuisine
You're gonna get
for
face
you, buddy.
keys all day.
Yeah, it is.
That is.
human.
Human face keys.
Give your cat the delicacy that it wants, with Facey Feast.
Just in a bowl.
I do like to think that Aliens, the sequel, kind of played a little bit on the Dallas death of this claustrophobia feeling of him walking through that corridor, man. Like, it reminds me of who was the robot in Aliens that had to climb, that had
Lance
to go through,
Henriksen.
that had to go through the pipe.
Yeah.
Like, that's the scene that sticks with me in the second one, and this scene kind of sticks with me in this one. The
True.
idea that he's like, he's got a fucking flamethrower and a light, and he's just looking behind him, and he's in these tight quarters. It's nuts. Tom Skerritt, by the way, I love him in this movie.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. Like I said, like him being the captain, just being like, change the rotary girder. Like, can we lift off yet? Well, not without the gamuncle off. Whatever. Like he just delivers it, and it's so believable as it's coming out of his mouth to me, and him just taking the flamethrower, and again, like the practical lighting of just like he's got a flamethrower. It's just like the flame of the light of the flame is the light lighting everything in this air duct. You know, it's so practical and so creepy.
It's so sick.
This is a moment where I'm just like, this was maybe where things started to get a little bit long for me, if you will. But then at the same time, I'm just like, this was one of the parts that I just kind of knew, though. I was like, oh, he's going in the air duct? Well, he's not our hero. Like, that's it.
Correct.
This is the end for him. That I just knew it was the end.
Have you heard the sentiment that this movie is Die Hard, but from the Xenomorphs' point of view?
No.
I don't know how to expand on this, but imagine Humanize the Goons here. Like, because you could take Die Hard and you could make it from the point of the terrorists where there's like this fucking guy, like he's killing all our guys. We got to get him.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that you're thinking about from Alien, but if you think about it from the Xenomorph, these guys are all coming to hunt him, and he's just hiding in ducks and like popping out and killing people.
These guys, our crew is the terrorists of Yakamoto Tower or whatever.
Yep, exactly. And the Xenomorph is McClane, hiding out, like trying not to be found.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother face fuckers. That's what we get out of this, huh?
I love the sentence. So I read that somewhere. I'm like, I want that. I want that movie.
He's like, yeah, well, Hans, I guess me and the cat are gonna go and we're gonna go get ourselves. We're gonna go get our feet bandaged up. Yeah. That's what the alien's doing this whole time.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm down for that.
Okay, cool.
So Aliens is a Christmas movie. Alien is a Christmas movie. Got it.
That's where we ended up on this.
Take me off my home planet and have a few beers.
Have a few beers.
Fuck some faces. What? It's gonna be a good time.
You know he's smoking cigs too. We just don't see it
100%.
because we're not seeing that point of view.
Well, the alien's not a smoker. His second mouth is, and it doesn't really matter.
That's the one that comes out as like,
no
hey,
emphysema.
hey, put me out. I gotta smoke for a little bit.
Yeah.
Come out to the outer rim, hug a few faces.
It's gonna be a good time.
Good time.
What about where we determine Ash is a robot here? The one choice I think they could have made. I agree with everything they've done in this movie. I enjoy it. The idea that they didn't cut away when the head gets chopped off and it's clearly a really bad model, and they didn't at least do a quick cutaway to then come back to where it was really the actor.
Yeah, they didn't
They're
Wet Hot American Summer this.
They do. Without trying to be funny, that's
Right.
what they did.
It kind of did.
And maybe in 1979, maybe on a VHS, maybe it's not as noticeable, perhaps. But this is a little rough.
This is where it's like the milky, the milky brain juice. Like all of a sudden he's malfunctioning now. Like, is that just what is going on? I mean, because there wasn't up to this point. I mean, there wasn't really any issue that like he didn't get hit or anything. Ripley didn't hit him.
No,
I don't think did it.
But
No, she didn't.
But somebody somebody kills Ash. Somebody decapitates Ash. Is that Parker?
Yeah, Fakoto,
Parker.
Yeah,
Parker.
Yeah, so they're finally figuring out that there's issues here, right? Yeah. But
Well,
I just don't like the way it looks.
I mean, it's a bit dated. I buy it just because it's cool. To me.
It's cool as fuck.
I like his performance up until this point as well. Like I've been saying, when she does find out that Mother is like crew is expendable and he's just there,
And he's just there.
And when she walks away and he just starts excreting milk down his face, and the look of him and his facial reactions of just like his eyes going nuts or his like mouth just doing weird shit is so creepy.
Yep.
It's almost worse than any alien action that we get. But yeah, I think the malfunction of him is just like, I think that there's maybe like a programming in him. This is the way I see it anyway. There's like a programming in him is like at all costs, you don't kill anybody unless you have to.
Yeah.
And that programming is like hard to like get into or like hard for him to decipher maybe. And so at this point where Ripley finds out, he's got to actually take care of it. And like his programming is just like not caught up to him yet.
I gotcha.
That's kind of that's my,
This is
that's maybe a stretch. That's kind of a stretch.
It works.
But
This is again though. This is also where I feel like this is where I start to believe honestly like the alien isn't the bad guy. It's Ash or it's corporate, man.
Well, think about it.
You
I mean,
know, like,
the alien's
honestly,
the alien's just doing what it does.
it's just a baby.
It's like
it's an orca. It's a killer whale.
It's a
just
killer
like
whale.
this is what it does.
It's a wolf. It's a grizzly bear.
Yes.
It is any wild, dangerous animal in its own element potentially.
that humans were like, ooh, we can tame this and take it with us.
It's King Kong. It is Godzilla. It is whatever you want it to be. And then we're just like, we're humans. We could do whatever we want. And then you go in and you're like, yeah, let's take it onto our ship, and we'll try to capture it. And then
we got these little prod things. We'll get them.
Yeah. And then you know what? We'll just innocently experiment on it until it's dead. And that's what we'll do. And like that's us just being innocent humans. But really it is. It's Ash and like the
Weyland-Yutani.
the headquarters. Whatever. What's that?
Weyland-Yutani.
That's the name of like the corporate, right?
Uh-huh. See? Yeah.
Did you catch that? I thought I saw that in the notes of why he called it Weyland-Yutani, the writer. Or why Ridley? I think Ridley came up with that. Apparently, where was that? According to myth, so I don't know if this is true. The name for the company, Weyland-Yutani, was taken from the names of Sir Ridley Scott's former neighbors. He hated them, so he decided to dedicate the name of the evil company to them.
Nice.
Which is pretty awesome. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's fucking awesome.
Spiteful little bitch he is, huh?
I would
Nice.
call him. I would call evil company Travis.
Yeah.
It would just be Travis.
Just
Travis
Travis
Co.
Core.
Yeah, Travis Co. Travis Co. Incorporated. That's just how it goes.
I don't hate anybody.
I only hate 2 people. They're both named Travis.
It's fine. They're both.
If you're out there listening and your name is Travis, chances are it's not you.
There you go.
Mostly.
Mostly. I just, this is where I'm kind of, this is where I really like Sigourney Weaver's performance though, because it's like her realization and that reading that of like, you know, crew is expendable and it's just a shock. And then Ash just tries to just face hug her mouth with a magazine. Mm-hmm. And that is a strange one to me.
It is.
Because it feels like Ash doesn't really, like, as a robot, he's like, he hasn't been programmed to kill. He's just like, you just have to stop. You just have to cease their existence.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm kind of saying. Yeah,
and it's just kind of like, I don't know, they breathe from this hole, so I'll just stuff this down there. You know,
maybe stop that from happening.
Yeah, I'll just recycle into your mouth. It's like,
you know, women are always talking too much.
Yeah, Well, why don't you
and shopping?
Right to the moon, Alice.
Here's a Sears magazine down your throat.
Yeah, you want to shop and you want to talk? Well, I'll stop both of those.
That's what the alien was thinking.
That's what Ash was thinking.
Yeah, Ash was thinking that. You want to do final scenes?
Yes.
Where were we at?
I don't know.
I like when they do finally like kind of reprogram him and get him talking again. His speech of like, I like its purity.
Yeah.
And he admires its purity and he admires like how indestructible it is. I like how it's like, it even makes it even more creepy where it's just like, I like this thing better than I do humans, you know?
I think we would all agree. I mean, don't we all feel that way?
Don't we all feel that way about dogs or cats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But again, it's just a baby.
It is just a baby.
It's just a little baby.
It's not a little baby, it's baby. It's a baby.
Well.
By the way, that thing grew up real fast.
Yeah.
They got short life cycles, right? I think that's been
So
told.
it's like these things have life cycles like a fly, like 24 to like 36 hours or something.
We'll get into it in the end here. Some
Okay.
thoughts about the end of this, right?
Okay.
So final scene, Ripley initiates the self-destruct sequence and heads for the shuttle with the cat, but finds the alien blocking her way. She unsuccessfully attempts to abort the self-destruct, then returns to find the alien gone, and narrowly escapes in the shuttle as the Nostromo explodes. As she prepares to enter stasis, Ripley discovers the alien aboard the shuttle. Ripley's able to blow the alien into space. She then puts herself and the cat into stasis for the return trip to Earth.
Just any shot of like when Parker and Lambert go off on their own, you know, and they obviously both bite it.
Yep.
And her screams as Ripley's trying to run to them and catch up to them, and then she's alone. And anytime anybody's alone in this ship, or like even if it's just Lambert and Parker just like trying to get the fuel cells or whatever, that thing could be anywhere. And that's what scared the fuck out of me the first time watching this, is just any corner you turn, it could be there, it could be above you, it could be below you. We don't know the layout of the ship as an audience member. We're not even sure if she does.
No.
You know, and then she starts the self-destruct thing and it gives you a timer of when to get out of there. But
And
like,
now sirens and lights. And
where you're heading could be where the thing is. You know, it's so fucking creepy and anxiety inducing. It's crazy.
It's extremely hectic at this point. And like the idea of like starting this self-destruct sequence and then like having this realization to try and shut it off.
Yeah.
Is like somehow worse. And I like that we kind of get it's like taking us down that trope. It's like self-destruct will commence in 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 2, 1. You missed it, you dumb bitch. You're out. It's like, and we're just, it's like, it should have been 1.
yes.
But no, like, and she's got it going down and that whole thing, and she's so pissed that it's like, I did it, you bitch. You bitch.
It's so good.
I that's where I was kind of like really brought back into it. I was like, oh shit. So
she
it
just
does
wasted
happen.
all this time too.
Yes.
Like that was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
She could have just been spending her time getting back to the
just
getting to the escape pod.
getting out of
But
it.
instead she wasted all that time.
I thought that was actually brilliant. Like
Yeah.
I was so ready for the trope, the stopping the clock at 1 second left. and it didn't happen. And I was just like, oh man,
the Fifth Element thing and dropping the card in or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. And like then she does encounter the alien like in this with just fucking strobe light going on and shit. And she sees it just like hanging out in the hallway, just like, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey guys.
Just looking for people to kill.
Are you the last one?
Super hungry.
Yeah, well, I gotta tell you. And then like she's like peeking around the corner and it's just like and she's like, wow, it's so fucking creepy. I love it so much of just like this little snippets of shots that you do get of the alien, not showing it fully, not even showing it for like maybe more than 5 seconds on screen at a time. I think it just really shows, and it always snarling and always like drooling and like KY jelly coming out of its mouth.
Yeah.
It's so good looking, but yeah.
But they get you all riled up in this scene, and then she gets on the thing and leaves, and like I genuinely believe that we made it out.
Just willy-nilly throwing the cat crate, just like with the cat inside. Like,
I know.
Get the fucking...
It's basically like kicking the thing like the grocery bag in Goonies or whatever. Like Rosalita just kicking the thing in. Like, get in there. Oh, it's great. You deserve it, Cat.
Well,
Cat was in on it. Sorry.
They did ask Ridley why Ripley would go back for Jonesy the cat. He responded, "Would I go back for my dogs? Absolutely."
Yep.
So I mean, I think anyone would agree that
valid.
I'm going back for my animal.
The trope of screenwriting, save the cat moment.
Duh.
It reveals more plot if you go back and save the cat.
That's true.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted to ask you. Like, why? This is where maybe this theory comes in. Is why did Ripley's made it off the ship? She's in the escape pod, and then we see the xenomorph there.
Well, she strips first.
Well,
nice.
Which is very important, I think.
Nice.
Which is very important. In fact, like, what the why? Other than like,
I don't
it's
know,
pretty
man.
awesome.
When I get home, I just fucking strip down to my skivvies. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
hanging
I
out
kind of
now.
do that.
Like, if I just escaped a horrible, impossible monster that killed all of my friends,
You're just taking your clothes off.
and now all of my cargo, my rocks are gone.
Well,
Dude,
my rocks.
I'm stripping.
You don't want. I mean, dang it, my rocks.
Damn it.
Sorry. It's very funny, but it's like you don't want to you don't want to lay down in that thing in
That's
your jeans
true.
with your socks on.
Yeah.
That's true.
You
I
know-
do that in hotels sometimes if I know I have to leave really early.
I do that
Sweaty,
too.
You're gonna wake up.
It doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Right.
I gotta leave at 5, so I'm not changing.
I'm not going to change my clothes. This helps me. That way I'm not too comfortable. I
Yes.
feel that I'm in my jeans when I wake up. I know I need to get
Yep.
going. But friends do not let friends fall asleep in their socks. Okay?
True.
That's a horrible feeling waking up. All the hairs on the top of your feet are bent backwards.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's why though, Mike.
But you're right, though.
You got to take everything off.
You're
I
right,
need
though.
a good sleep.
She's stripping down. She's like relaxing. She's like, I'm gonna flip a few of these switches. Oh fuck! Right there.
Well, and then this was my question, which I dug into deeper. Like, why is this alien like hidden there? And then why doesn't it actually really react? It sort of just like stays there.
I think
and
it's
then
napping.
dude.
I thought it was injured.
Okay, so
I thought it was injured.
I don't know.
there's a lot of thoughts on it. Like, this alien proved to be so fast and impossible to kill, and now it's just like laying there and it doesn't really do anything. So some people think it was either headed to the escape pod to die as its life cycle was ending. Like, there's just a short life cycle.
Okay.
It did what it's supposed to do, and now it's going back to some sort of a pod to die and then turn into something else or whatever. Some people think he fled the ship to get peace and quiet. It didn't like all the alarms and shit
Or
going
she.
off.
Oh,
You're going to do that again? Every episode.
Fuck off, Sean.
It's a dude, okay?
It's a dude.
It's a dude.
He's so satisfied with himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Or they think that was his lair. Like, when he got on the ship, he found that as his like lair, and he made that as his area to be like, no one's gonna find me in here.
Well, I like it. I like that idea too. I kind of like all of them almost put together. To be completely honest with you, but I like the layer aspect because you see aspects of this ship, like the cords and the wine. They look like the xenomorph ship
Completely.
stuff. They look like that planet, and they look like parts of the alien itself. So it looks, and that's what the cool aspect was when she was obviously shocked when she saw the thing. It seems like more alien in there, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, because of that, the hoses, the cables, all that stuff. But I just thought it was injured from the explosion in
And
some way.
That could be too.
And like that's why it's not directly coming after her. But I kind of like all of those to a degree.
Maybe just some version of all of it.
Yeah. Like it is injured. Maybe it is at the end of its life cycle. Maybe it is just finding a good place for itself to like either die, or it's about to like
Spawn
more of them, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it is. It relates to the cat so much that it is more like a cat than anything else. Of just like
Ooh.
all they do is sleep.
Yeah.
All they want to do is sleep, and then like a human comes in and is like, "The
Ah.
fuck!
It is.
Quit touching me!"
Oh
You know?
my God.
Jesus!
Why are you making so much noise?
Fill my fucking bowl and fuck right off.
Where's my facey feast? God.
I like that a lot.
Like it's kind of getting up like.
And they think that that's really scary. They're like, "Oh my God, it's roaring at us." It's like, no, it's just yawning.
It's just yawning twice.
It's doing the cute like extra stretch that cats do, but that's the way they do it.
Oh, nice little alien sploot. Yeah.
No wonder Mike loves the xenomorph so
do.
much. They're basically cats.
Basically cats.
Jesus.
Great, fantastic ending to this. Like, I mean, it just the suspense keeps going. You like, she sings the songs, has a back turned to it, shoots it out there like, buddy, catch it. He or she catches.
Thank you.
And then it catches. They catch.
Thank you.
Zer catches. Whatever.
Well, the next.
That's where it came from.
We did it.
We brought it back.
We did it. Full circle, baby.
Oh God. It's just like this. You can't kill this alien, and I believe the terror in Ripley, like in Sigourney. This is such a great ending to the movie.
It's awesome. It's so suspenseful and it's so satisfying when she finally does get it out of here. I when she's like kind of humming to herself, like all the close-ups of everything, and like all the steam and smoke still coming out, and there's like no suspenseful music. It's just like, no, you're just gonna feel what she's feeling, and it's just complete fear. And she's got her back turned to it, and she's like eventually kind of looks behind her. She's like, yeah, like right fucking there. It's so fucking cool, man. It's so good.
Yeah, that last moment, it's just on the thing. It's on the ship, latches on, hits the burners, sends it up. It's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
A couple final things to wrap it up. You got a porn parody name for this?
Alien Side.
Alien Side? Alien Side? What about Analian?
Anal in?
Or Alapine? Alapine?
There you go.
Alley In.
Anal peen?
Alien? What about
Starring Allie?
Anal Alien Probe 69420?
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
Is that cool?
I'd watch that
I
twice.
think what Nick Mad had a good one.
Nick Mad
what did he
had
say?
anal in.
Anal end.
In space, no one can hear you cream.
That's the
Nick
one.
Mad makes all happy.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Nick's punchable face was Kane. I mean, that's a pretty obviously punchable face. I didn't really have one, but it's pretty much fucking Kane.
Did you guys have a prop?
We did have props, didn't we say that?
I said mine.
Yeah, I said the photo of Jonesy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Did you say one?
I probably said something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I did want to say that Jarrett's punchable face was the alien when its arms open up for the jump scare.
That's a pretty good punchable
Yeah,
face.
just out of pure instinct, he said.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Well, boys, you got anything else on this one?
No.
We have dissected Alien from 1979 with a modern 2024 eye. We got to give it a modern day rating. We're going to start with Sean. What are your thoughts on this one, buddy?
I mean, it's Alien. I think it's a masterpiece of its kind. I like 1979 movies in general. I don't know what it is about that year, but I think they took this concept and ran with it. I think that it's just pure tension on a level of that most movies can't achieve anymore. and no other like sequel that has been made has really come close to what this is. Like Aliens is the action movie of Alien franchise. This is the horror, capital H underlined horror movie of the franchise. I will say that the new one is actually fucking solid. I really like it and does a lot of really cool things with the anatomy of an alien. But this movie in general, it's Alien, dude. I have to go above Aliens. For me, I like it a lot more. I'm gonna go 9.4 on this.
9.4 for Sean. AJ, what about you, man?
Could you do me a solid while I talk?
You got it.
And I just want to know what I gave Aliens.
You got it, man.
Let me say this: Alien 1979 is this is falling in the same vein as The Thing for me. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, it's eerie. It's got that good sci-fi aspect. Again, when you can add that survivalist aspect to something with some mystery inside of it, then you know you're gonna get me to a certain degree. I really think that this does it very well because we aren't just worried about the alien. We then have to worry about the other. We're wondering if there's some sort of internal in the crew. You know, there's an insider in the crew. And I think that's really cool. It even made me. What I was alluding to previously was the fact that the way Ripley delivers the line about how, no, we need to follow protocol and we need to, it's like if you were in my position, you do the same thing. It made me believe that she could even be an android at one point, that she's so adamant about following protocol that was a thing. So it made me even think that and made me wonder if that's something that happens later on in the series. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of them. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of really interesting aspects, and this is honestly some of the best. It is the best ensemble acting that I've ever seen in a movie from the 70s or the 80s up to this point.
Damn.
So I will put that out there.
You're
what did I give?
8.9.
8.9.
Yeah.
Then that makes a lot of sense because I would give this a 9.0 straight up.
9.0 straight up. I'm with you guys. I got to give this slightly better than Aliens 2. I loved Aliens 2.
Really, I'm surprised by that. Actually,
I guess it's not called Aliens 2. It's called Aliens, but I'm going to call it Aliens 2.
Nice.
Lost in New York.
But
I really love the comparison of Jaws, but in space. I really think that's a spot on comparison of this. The creepiness, the unknown, the terror of something that is scarier and bigger than us. I thought it was fantastic. I'm a little lower than you, but I was a little lower on Aliens. I'm going to be an 8.59. This was a fantastic movie.
Nice.
We got to go to executive producer Bud Larsen. He said, I watched this on Disney Plus. I was surprised this was on Disney. I agree with you, Bud. I was like, wow,
no
cool. I guess they did just release a Deadpool movie. He's correct on that one. I thought the movie started slow AF when they went down to explore, could their face shield be any dirtier? I figured Kane was going to die while eating. That is the way he died in Spaceballs. Before Dallas dies, he climbs down a ladder with a flamethrower. That is believable. Ash, a robot? I was expecting his head to cave in when Parker hit him in the head. Then after Ripley starts the self-destruct of the ship, she goes back for a cat. I can understand a dog, but a fucking cat?
Thank you.
Sorry, Mike. What is up with the strobe light in the ship? Is she on a ship or at a fucking disco? After Ripley knocks the alien into space, how didn't the cat die from being into space? Oh, yeah, that's true. The cat didn't have a spacesuit, did it?
Yeah, true.
Okay.
No,
well,
she
shit.
put it in the thing.
Oh, you're right.
Was
Okay,
it
cool.
already in the
thing.
cryo?
Yep. Also, why does the alien drool so much? I probably wouldn't watch the original again, although since the Alien series is on Disney Plus, I might as well watch the rest. The most punchable face is Ash. By letting Dallas and Kane in without going through quarantine, he basically killed everyone. We all agree on that one.
Yeah.
Prop from the movie would be the alien egg opened up. Can you imagine that right on the table? Just going.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it reveals every movie we do. That that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bud is going to be a little lower than us. He's going to be a 7.85. My friends, that's going to take us to an 8.71 for a modern day rating. And that's going to pop it in the 14th spot. It's going to be right below Shaun of the Dead, right above Aliens.
Oh, man.
Look at how that
It
lines
made
up,
it.
boys.
Damn, we're good.
God, we're good at this. It's like we didn't plan it out
I
or anything.
know.
It's not like we talked about this ahead of time, what our ratings are.
We didn't. We don't.
We never do.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for being here. Tune in next week. We got That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
Followed by an anniversary movie that we decided on. We're going to get a little deep. American Beauty. Yep. And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year, Airplane. If you need to quench, get rid of the horror.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another horror being in the skies.
Absolutely.
With that crew.
We'll go to comedy in a tube rather than an alien in the tube.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. So, guys, thank you again so much for listening to Confused Breakfast Podcast here with us and the boys in the studio and YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on social media at Confused Breakfast, just anywhere in social media. And by all means, leave us a review. Hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening on because we really appreciate it. Most people don't even subscribe to the podcasts that they listen to every single day. So hit the subscribe button, leave us a review, 5 stars if you can, and write us a review too. We love listening to them and reading them.
You can go to confusedbreakfast.com to see some merch that we have. We have shirts and we have other stuff. You can go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to see the ratings of the movies that we have done. You can see that Mike has ratings. You can see that AJ has ratings. You can see that I have ratings. And then those combined with our executive producers make one number. And you can see that as a show overall. Goodbye. I love you.
We are produced by Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids. We got uploadmediagroup.com. Brian on the controls today. Thanks for being here. And learn more about our awesome Cloud 10 at cloud10.fm.
Makes a lot of sense.
And get your hair cut at Sports Clips.
Right.
Okay, bye.
Of course, the goddamn cat was asleep for the end of the climax and the kill of that alien. Of course it was asleep.
Dumb cat.